Hi guys, it's Janet. I have Jennifer Chu with me from Oglethorpe University here in Atlanta, Georgia. First question to you. We talked about microaggressions in terms of being asked or being told your English is so good and where you're really from. How have you flipped that into teachable moments?
For me, I think that with microaggressions and the where are you from questions, I've just chosen to um, not really get upset over those anymore because they're more important issues to me, and I also know that I can handle people asking me questions that might be kind of silly or just incorrect. Um, I've had people ask me, "Hey, what's your nationality?" When I knew what they meant. I knew they meant to ask me, what's your ethnicity? And I quickly explained it to him and said, "Oh, I think you meant ethnicity. I'm Chinese." And that was that. And he was really apologetic and he felt so bad, but I was like, it's really fine. The important thing is just to learn, and next time maybe you can ask someone the right way, I guess. I tried to make it a teachable moment, because if I use that moment to just go off on him and get really mad and yell and say, "You're so stupid, how dare you," like, how is that going to help? That's just going to broaden that gap sort of and make a future lesson in this situation even more difficult, and it'll ruin a relationship, at least when it comes to the workplace. So I think it's really important to just be calm, like for me, and just say, well, okay, here's the difference between nationality and ethnicity and race and all that stuff. I just think it's really important that you keep a relationship good, so that later on you can teach them more things and things like that. It's just really important.
So tell me a time where there was a football play being called and incidents that happened afterwards.
Yeah, so there was a football play that they named China, and as a signal, as a joke, I guess, they pulled the corners of their eyes out, which is really my least favorite thing, because I mean, that's just so immature and annoying and frustrating, and um, it's so old. Like, you shouldn't be doing that anymore. But that was very early on, when I was a lot younger, and I think at the time I didn't know how to handle it. I just freaked out and broke down and got really upset, because I mean, I didn't know what else to do, and I didn't know that more situations like that would pop up in the future and stuff. So I, talked to people about it, and we kind of, I guess, got it figured out. But what I learned from that is that some people are still going to continue what they do, even though they know it's wrong. And those may not be the people you want to sort of change. You don't want to try and change their minds, because it's never going to change. But there are some people who, do something like that, and then they realize it's wrong and they want to change, and they ask you for help, or, something like that could happen, where you might want to focus more on the people who can change their minds than the people who can't. So that's kind of what I learned from it. And that I think a lot of I don't know where I'm going with this, but I guess it seems like a lot of people think that you can still make these kinds of jokes towards Asian people for some reason, and that's definitely not okay. And it might just be because people don't fight back, but I mean, like I said, there's a reason, right? We kind of choose our battles, at least I do. So yeah.
So Jennifer Shu, next couple minutes for you, your closing statement.
Yeah, so for me, I think what I want to get across is that people of color have all have unique experiences. Like, even someone who I actually know someone who she's also Chinese, born and raised in the same area as me, went to Pitt at like an earlier time, and we kind of have very similar backgrounds, but we are really different just because of our personalities and the time that we were born. So every single person, like, no matter how similar you might think they are, has like one little different thing that they might do when it comes to race and racism. And it's really important to know that, like, just because I treat things a certain way or do things a certain way. It doesn't mean everyone has to, but I, think it's helped me just have a less stressful life. So it's just like something to think about, and maybe more people can understand that you don't have to continue reacting to situations the same way your whole life. You can choose to change them, and it's okay to do that. And just everyone is different. So that's what I wanted to say.
Jennifer, thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.